Okay, so methodology for my experiment. Okay, so I want to take a group of, I want to look at juveniles. If you'll remember, we're looking at spinal injuries, and I really want to identify what is the genetic cause for weakness in the spine, and hopefully that can lead to more screening treatments in pediatrics before they even start playing sports and these injuries can happen, because if there's a way to genetically fix that before they start playing sports, then we don't have to worry about a lot of different injuries, you know, knee injuries, things like that. It all stems from weakness in the spine and in the core. So that's kind of the purpose, if you'll remember that. So my methodology, I want to take 10 juveniles between the ages of 3 and 18 with no history of back pain, no injury. And then I need, for my control group, and then 10 juveniles with a history of back pain and injury, either from sports. I want to stay away from scoliosis kids and people with other like diseases causes, and look more at people who like had a fall, a sports injury, that kind of thing. So in the screening process, I'll look more for not disease caused, but possibly genetically caused just by weakness, so injury caused. And all of these juveniles will be between the ages of 3 and 18. I may tweak that in my final project a little bit, but for now we're sticking with that. And then I will make sure that they have provided written consent from the parents and that the kids also consent to it. And we will take them through a physical assessment with a certified spine specialist / neurologist, anybody who's board certified in spinal medicine. We'll take them through a physical assessment to get a baseline for their weakness and pain, and just screen and make sure that their injury is not caused by any underlying disease that we don't know about. It's caused by we don't know it was caused by an injury. It was caused by a fall. So there's like weakness pointing to the pain. And because we want to make sure that we're looking at what we want to find. We want to find that cause. And if we have people with scoliosis, then we can say, you know, it skews the results, looking at scoliosis cause your pain, cause your injury, instead of the weakness in the spine cause the injury. So then basically we're just going to take a blood draw and a sample from each subject. There will be a nurse doing it at a hospital or like an inpatient clinic, things like that, wherever we can get the resources for it. It will be collected in a sterile tube, and then the tube will be labeled with their name, the date of the blood draw, and so sorry, it will be labeled with, and their date of birth. So name, date of birth, and date of draw. Sorry, I should have put that on the PowerPoint. And then blood will be shipped in a 4 to 8 degrees Celsius box to the lab, where DNA sequencing will be performed and analyzed by geneticists, which is not myself, but I will be there, hopefully. So the timeline, we're looking at about 1.5 years. This is like a rough estimate out of my brain. I think initial blood draws should only take about 2 months. The screening process before that might take a little bit longer, so I'm giving it 4 months total for like collecting the patients, screening them, doing their physical assessment, and doing their blood draw. And we have to look at the availability of doctors who are also running their own practice, and hospitals and places that will do the blood draws. And then the analysis and the sequencing will take the big chunk of the time, I think. The sequencing, you just stick it in a machine and then it pops back out at you. But the analysis is really what we're going to spend a lot of time really looking at each individual letter of their DNA, where the common threads are that cause that weakness, or could possibly be the causes for that weakness in the spine. So we're really just going to analyze that. And I think that will take probably about 1 year to do that. So 1.5 years, possibly pushing it to 2 years. Okay, and then stewardship. So I will be responsible for ensuring proper protocols are in place. I will obtain the proper permissions, and long-term, I will be the steward of the data. It will be stored on a flash drive and will be available upon request after the project is completed and published. So yeah, thank you.